I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. Up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know. And ask them who got it, let's roll up. 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 I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. Up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know. And ask them who got it, let's roll up.
Greetings! Welcome to another edition of Smokin
and Jokin.
Actually,
what we doing tonight?
Welcome to another edition of
Voting and Jokin.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Listen,
voted,
man,
Jokin.
we had to switch that up because we got a very special episode coming for y'all today. But before we even dive into that, we want everybody to take a moment of silence because it was a tragedy that happened in this country.
Horrible.
So we want to take a second, moment of silence for Vegas and for this country.
Because we all been to Vegas before now.
And with that being said, man, like I said, we want to send our prayers out to everybody out there, anybody who's been affected, family members, all that. Not just Vegas, but as y'all know, this bad weather is still going on. You know, I have my own personal thoughts about the weather.
Heart.
Man.
Heart machine.
Yeah.
I got my thoughts too.
Yeah.
Heart machine.
They playing with some shit out in that
Yeah,
water.
right. They've been doing that.
Heart machine.
I got my thoughts about the Vegas.
We been in the
Story already changed too many times.
I mean, I saw Arlington
Yeah,
Road.
it kind
a
of
lot of
changed. Yeah. Go ahead though.
So, I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Oh, I just think like ain't all. It's just the story kind of changed a little bit. It's kind of fishy to me. You know, like the old
What's
man
fishy?
never had. He never been around known to have guns on guns and they had them kind of assault rifles and bed. You got to know how to use them.
He was
you know
a
what I'm saying?
millionaire.
Don't matter. You still got to know how to use them kind of guns.
Apparently he know how to use them.
You know, that's not apparent. That's why he did. He didn't get to tell his story.
Well, the bottom line is, you know,
They said one shooter.
Our prayers go out to
Yeah,
people that
definitely
have
that.
been affected, whether it's a
Definitely that.
conspiracy or not. You never know what the fuck
Right.
to believe in this country
Yeah, right.
anymore. We are desensitized to the bullshit.
Right.
It happened so much, it's like it didn't even happen. What? Somebody did? Okay.
It could be anything.
That's how they
right
wanted
on
to be.
with our day.
You know what's so
That's
crazy?
how they want
It's
it to
almost under the rug right now.
Right.
Nah.
Listen,
It
man.
is.
Listen, man.
Houston.
That's
I
how
mean,
they
ain't
want it to
nobody
be.
else,
Listen, Bone.
It's gonna be one thing that cover up the
What
next.
always happens in this country, first of all, with me saying that, I wouldn't want to live nowhere else. I don't give a fuck what I say about this.
USA.
I don't want to live nowhere else.
USA.
But with that being said, when there's something going on in this country, something else always happens to make you just forget.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
people ain't even been talking about the weather and the hurricanes and all that stuff since what happened in...
Yeah.
They're not even talking about the little girls in the freezer.
Yeah.
It's
don't
over.
talk about
It's
none
over
of that.
with.
They don't talk about none of that. They talk about what they, once again, I told y'all last week, they basically control how we protest. So now they're gonna control the things that happen in this world that cause grief, that bring, you know.
They've been doing that for a long time.
All these things. And you know, like I said, once again, we're not gonna stay on that long.
Just giving out our
We
prayers.
here to party tonight, but we couldn't start smoking and joking
Can I give a shout
without giving our prayers. Also,
Go ahead, Brother Bone.
the juice
It's motherfucking loose.
and they got a new Bronco
Oh, Lord.
Right.
coming out the same year that the
Collins
juice
is
is loose.
Boycotting Ford
I
ass.
say it was OJ.
They were out here
man.
taking endorsements from people who are kneeling.
That was OJ.
So we boycotting Ford too.
That wasn't funny.
Y'all think we should boycott Ford?
That was
I said they taking they taking it. They took they taking away endorsements for people protesting.
yeah. You know, I want
Ford.
to ask y'all about this, man, because you know we are all fathers up here. We all have kids that play sports and that do this and that and this and that. And recently, one of the ball daddy, what's his name?
LeVar.
LeVar Ball
I respect
came
LeVar.
out and said he's snatching his son out of school. The talent just ain't what it's supposed to be. The coach ain't gonna get him no better. I just want to know what y'all take is on that because we are all fathers. I know, you know, me personally, it's about what's best for your kid. Who gives a damn what anybody else has to say about it?
Me personally, I think he the dad. He know his kid
Yeah.
temperament. He knows his mature level. I think he's doing the right thing.
I do too. Especially
Because he done raised not one, not two, but this is third boy.
Well, can I ask y'all this though? Like,
You talking about the homeschooling part.
right. But can I ask y'all this though? Like, Did this nigga just get past the
Man,
chicken
go
wing
ahead,
live
man. Keep
on
talking,
Smokin
man.
and
Nobody
Jokin?
even seen that.
Everybody in the world
Did this
saw
nigga
it.
See
just
on
get
the
past
side.
the chicken
This nigga
wing
said the
live
Chicken
on
wing.
Smokin and
That shit was on the
Jokin?
side,
I
man.
saw that.
Chicken
I saw that, man.
Man, go ahead, man. Y'all talk about something important, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, y'all talk about something important.
No.
Go back
Somebody
where you
ordered
was.
this man a 20-piece.
I forgot what
meal.
the whole chicken wing shit.
Right, I'm trying not to
shit threw me
distract
off.
you with it.
But
Hold on, was it a flat or a drum, dude?
It's a fucking drum. Everybody know I'm an all flash nigga.
That nigga do say a fucking drum. Then he hand me a fucking drum.
No. But on a serious note, though, I have no problem with what LeVar is doing. The only thing is that, like, you know, the oldest son, Lonzo, is it? Yeah. Lonzo's the oldest son. Lonzo's temperament is a little different. He act like, you know, he's not buying into all that. He just go out there and do what he gonna do on the court. But this younger boy, he act just like the pop. And he ain't made it yet.
It's scary.
You see what I'm saying?
He don't care if he make it though.
This was about to check.
Right. Let me tell you something real. I was watching TV today. I was like, how is this news overshadowing the shooting in Vegas?
How is it overshadowing the shooting in Vegas?
They was talking about that more than they was talking about the shooting in Vegas.
I be tripping on how every time the analysts, when they come on sports center or whatever, how they act like they don't want to talk about it so bad. You know what I'm saying? But then they talk about it. They be like, oh, we got another story about it. Well, why y'all keep talking about it? But they keep talking, you know, they go right on into it. So somebody want it talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, like I said, big ups to the whole Ball family.
Yeah, I'm one.
I just commend
Triple
you for
Bs.
doing it the way you want to do it. You know what I mean? And I hope everything works out for you because hopefully more athletes will follow your path. It's way more people that have more power
More
than
dads.
you did.
More dads.
And that's
That's
Athlete
dad.
More
dads.
More
dads.
dads.
More
dads.
dads. So
Hey,
shout out to the
yeah,
Ball family. Keep
exactly.
doing what you're doing.
Everybody always
We
mad
gon-
at people not taking care of their kids. This man is taking care of all his kids and some.
All of them.
Let me tell you a fact before we go. LeVar Ball said when he was in college, he was looking for a female that was 6'8" to 16.
Oh, he knew.
Hey, already.
He knew.
Right. Strictly for breeding purposes.
Duke,
Duke has seen. He has been down that road.
Hey, shout out to Joe Austin because he told me
Strictly
that
for
one
breeding
day.
purposes.
Hey, but while we on the subject of sports, the Falcons lost.
Oh my God.
That was some bull crap.
I mean, like I ain't watched the game because I don't watch football. But I
Without,
heard they lost.
the Falcons are a robot. Without Julio
Boy.
and Sanu,
Boy, we
one-dimensional. We done.
Listen, I'm gonna go on record right now
And
and
say
say,
what? Don't do that.
y'all cannot call this man Matty Ice anymore. It's got to either be Matt Ryan or Matty Puddles.
I'm
he
going
does
Matty
not
Ice.
deliver
That man
when
is
it counts.
been-
I'm going Matt Ice.
I'm sorry, it's got to be either
Who
Ryan
play?
Ryan or Puddles.
All right, who playing better?
Huh?
Who playing better?
What do you mean?
I'm saying. Who's
Kansas City's
better?
playing
No, I ain't
better
talking about
than
the team.
4-0.
I ain't talking about the
Don't play
team.
about
I
Atlanta
ain't talking about the team. I'm talking about what
Ain't
quarterback
no
playing
better.
better.
got
Fucking
And
Deshaun
Kansas
Watson
City
is
had to
playing
play who we done
Man,
played.
shout out to
Watson
Deshaun
is playing-
Oh, that's my
Watson.
man. That was Deshaun Watson. But he's not playing
playing
better
better.
all
He's got the
overall. No,
highest
he's
QBR
haven't. That was
in
one
football.
game.
No, he's got the-
That was one game.
Can somebody-
Pull that up.
Matty
Google
Ice.
that. Cause
Deshaun Watson has
that was
the
a
highest
one game.
QBR in
He hadn't
football
started
right
but
now.
one game yet. How has he got the highest QB? His first game, he didn't even do good in.
He's got the
Did you see the
highest
first game he
QBR
played
right
in?
now. I did
I'm a
see
Deshaun
it.
Watson
What do you
fan.
mean he lost to New England?
I'm a Deshaun Watson
He
fan.
lost to New
I ain't
England
talking about. I'm
33
talking about the
to 30.
first
What are you
game he
talking
played
about?
in. The first game he played
Then he
in.
put up 57
I'm
points
talking about the
this week.
first game he played
57
in.
and 30 in
I'm
two
talking about the
games.
first game he played in.
Well, I think you
Matt
guys-
Ryan was leading the league in every
you guys
statistic
are
until
having
last
a-
week.
Matt
Hold on,
Ryan
So
is-
except for interceptions.
I think you guys are having
Nobody's gonna play good when two of their main people go out in the middle of the game,
Hold on,
and you got other injuries on the line.
Hey, dude.
Come on, man.
Dude,
Dude, I think you guys are having an Atlanta, Georgia
This
argument.
nigga was up
We'll see
We'll
the Falcons in the Super Bowl,
This
man.
nigga was up 28.
A-Town.
We'll see the Falcons in the
Matty
Super Bowl.
Puddles.
Right.
Man, hey, look,
We'll see the
look.
Falcons in the Super Bowl
He'll
without
be
the
there.
fix and see what
Smoking
happens.
the Jokin,
Hey,
he set a 10
the
outside of
the only problem I have with
Stadium.
Matt Ryan is to be a great quarterback, you have to have the balls enough to change your play.
That's all I'm saying.
Period.
That's all
Hey,
I'm saying.
if you just went through what we went through in the last Super Bowl,
Then you know don't run the
and
ball.
you
You
see
know don't
this
pass the ball.
man continually calling pass plays, you got to have the ball.
No,
to
you
say,
supposed to
hey,
run that 1
hey,
yard, that's
I'm
all.
finna run this ball, guys. And guess what? If it don't work, it's on me.
Well,
all right,
I mean,
I'm going against what the coach said.
It's a lot of armchair
But you know what? No, let me tell you this. If the coach called a spread play, right, and you're at the goal line, you go to the line, you ain't got the personnel to call the change audible to a run. Because on the goal line, you're going to have more likely a big package in there, which means you're going to have to substitute. So it ain't that easy to always audible straight into another run play.
I got a running back.
Now, maybe you should call that in the first place. You should call it in the first place. You're right. That's a dumb play.
Hold on. First of all,
The coach shouldn't even call that play.
I was on the sideline. I talked to Matt.
We saw you. We saw you.
I talked to
We
Matt.
saw you.
He talked to
I
our
said,
dog.
Matt, why you ain't run the ball? He was like, fuck, ball, my bad. I ain't have a break, so my bad.
What he said, hey, shout out to my brother, because all I know is I looked up and I saw him on the sideline. I'm like, God damn, hold on now.
Check.
Mercedes.
Now, what I call you? Buttons. That was a button.
That was a button.
Now, that was a pounce when I pounced.
Hey, listen though, on another note though, on the same note, shout out to the Falcons for being 3-1.
All right.
Now, Katie,
Shout out to the Falcons for being 3-1.
I don't know who your team is. I don't know what they.
First of all, right now, I am
your team?
not.
The Cowboys.
Everybody knows, baby. Everybody knows that I'm not watching football right now.
Oh, you know
I forgot about that.
We ain't watching football in our house right now.
That's right.
Thank you. Because I know, because I be on social media.
Yeah, he was talking about halftime.
Hey, I be on social media and I watch Edward Davis. Shout out to Day One Sports. You know what I mean? I watch his posts all the time. He always keep me enlightened on the scores.
You're not true to it.
Shout out to the Crush.
You're not true to it.
Those plugs, the Crush, Jack.
What's the crush?
The little shorty come on.
Maceo, them dates.
Hey, listen.
E-Glaze and Maceo, what's happening?
Listen, man. I just want to say thank you to the people over here at Sweet Arbor Seafood. We are here live. We about to have a very special guest come on here. Atlanta made history yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Once again, ATL made history yesterday. But we're not gonna get into it just yet. We're gonna take a quick break. But before we do, normally I have on the clean Smokin' Jokin t-shirt, which you can get at our website, smokinjokin.com. You can go to the website. You can watch all the episodes. We got new episodes going up every single week. Once again, that's smokinjokin.com. We have the Halloween party coming up October 31st. Check out the Eventbrite page. You'll get all the information. You get everything. We got the candies going on, everything going crazy. And listen, man, try to keep up. Every week we doing something.
Who else doing it like us? Anybody?
And with that being said, we gonna take a quick break. I am Tattoo.
What's that?
Joe Black.
Hey.
Joe Bleezy.
Yes.
AKA P. Buttons.
Hey.
He is
Corey, Black on C-Bone Andrews tonight. Well, CEO, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you already know it's your boy Big Duke, Six Fish, man. Worldwide Hood Ambassador, man.
Yeah.
Mr. 100. You know what I'm talking about?
Cheers.
Sorry for my attire tonight. You know, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault.
It was the weather.
It's always Duke's fault.
I forgot to check the
It's always Duke's fault.
And I actually was gonna do it on my own, but I thought I was.
We don't want to hear about what you was gonna do. We don't want to hear about that.
Shoulda,
woulda, we don't want to hear about that.
Once again, I'm Reverend Dinkenstein, Mr. John Jones in your end zone, Mr. Atlanta, politically correct Pele. Today, we got our folks on the show, Mr. Kwanza Hall. We finna have a ball. Please, take us on out.
Hey, in the corner, y'all can't see him today because we in the new spot. We got our DJ Spoon. He over there. Now, hey, I never seen a DJ sit down and DJ. He's doing it because that's what we do.
And he leaning though.
And he leaning a little bit. Listen, we gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on Vote. Welcome back, Jack. Listen, man. This is very special. I told y'all we was coming back with something very special. I told y'all Atlanta made history yesterday.
Yes, we did.
So we're gonna bring the person who brought all this to
responsible.
the forefront. He is running for mayor right now, and he led the movement, y'all. Do y'all know how important this is? We're going to let him tell y'all about it. Welcome to Smokin and Jokin.
Voting and joking.
Voting and
We
joking.
changed that. Let me bring that back. Well, let me bring that back. We changed that.
Yeah.
Normally we are smoking
And joking. But
Today
tonight,
we are voting and joking. Yeah. Welcome Kwanza Hall. Yeah. Like I said, this is very special for Smokin and Jokin. We welcome Kwanza Hall, brother. It is a
get up for
honor
Kwanza.
to have you
My
here.
pleasure.
Absolutely.
show some respect to the
All
niggas
right.
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like I said, brother, we welcome you to Smokin and Jokin. We just want to dive right into the history.
Let's go.
You kicked off this whole Reclassified Marijuana campaign. Tell us how that came about. Tonight is a party because we know it just passed yesterday.
Right.
That's right.
But we
That's
want
right.
to know how it came about.
That's right. Well, I don't take all the credit. First the credit goes to God
Absolutely.
in everything we do.
Absolutely.
My parents worked in civil rights.
Right.
So when I was growing up, there was definitely weed around the house.
Okay.
And, early on we were kids, and that was just the way of life in Atlanta, especially in Southwest Atlanta and Swats. That was just a normal thing. I think I probably threw away some weed plants because I thought they was weeds. When I was a kid, I was like, Mama, those are weeds.
Nah,
What?
we had to go to that
Like,
one
no,
room
baby, don't
and
do
then
that.
went to
I
the
know
other
we had to
room.
be in the other room.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
the tile
yeah,
under the
yeah,
door and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Smelling like pine cone.
What's that smell, right? But, so last summer when we were dealing with the officer-involved shootings that we saw happen all over the country that got our community and the whole world up in arms, we had protests here in Atlanta. And when I went out to see the protesters, because they were primarily in Council District 2 down at CNN, I started talking to different people and said, what can I do as your council member? And initially some of the young people kind of shouted me down like, hey, what you doing here? The politicians ain't doing nothing, blah, blah, blah. I say, look, I'm the only one out here coming to talk to you first and foremost. You really don't know me. Y'all don't know where I come from. You don't know my story. Y'all young kids, but I'm going to still stand with you because I know we can be young and dumb in all kinds of ways. We all have been. And I said, let me just stay there and talk. And it ended up turning out that they had some great ideas.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they just needed someone to put it into the right framework. And what they really were expressing was just frustration at what was happening that they didn't know because they haven't seen only the last 20 years. We've seen in some cases the last 40 years. And if you're growing up as a black man in Southwest Atlanta, you knew you could get killed.
Right.
So the main thing was run
Right,
if
right,
you see the police, not try to engage or something if you had an opportunity. So we really never got caught up as much in the same kind of way. So I think that conversation led to me talking to some of the organizations that I work with around banning the box on felon reentry.
Okay.
And that was to allow felons to come back into the workforce, and in particular at the city of Atlanta to get a job, because if you got a felony and you check that box, you're not going to get it. You're just filling out hundreds if not thousands of applications. So we changed that in the city, and we changed lives with that, and that was about 2 years ago.
So you telling our Smokin' and Jokin' fans right now, fellas in the city of Atlanta can go get a job.
You can go get a job at the city. You can go to the state, and many corporations like Coke Industries, UPS, Home Depot recognize that they wouldn't have drivers and other employees if they did not allow that to work. So it's a bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats. Governor Deal supported it. But the next step was, let's talk to the groups about how we could do the things that the young people wanted to see done. And it ended up breaking up into, number one, transparency in officer-involved shootings, adding more of that, 21st century policing that President Obama talked about, looking at the quality of life crimes. Those are crimes like jaywalking, loitering, spitting, walking naked, anything that, just you can get locked up, trumped up charges. And back in the day, it was kind of related to the slave clothes. If just driving while you're black, lights out, that kind of stuff. Yeah, stop and frisk, broken windows policing. And we brought that up. And then the other one, within that we had marijuana, okay? And then we also had one around pre-arrest diversion. If someone's walking around the street and they seem homeless, and they also seem like they might be dealing with mental illness, they really should not be arrested.
Absolutely. Right.
But currently, sometimes people, and oftentimes people are arrested, and they're filling up our jails.
So what do you do with people like that's walking around?
So now we have a pre-arrest diversion program, which came out of that conversation with organizations like the Racial Justice Action Center, the ACLU, and Solutions Not Punishment, 9 to 5, all the groups that have been working for working people and for people who are most in the margins. So we worked on that pre-arrest diversion program. It's been passed. And now that prevents people in the heart of the city from going to jail. Instead, they get supportive services. We're going to spread it all over the city so we can deal with the real problems that people have and not criminalize them. And that's where marijuana came in. Okay. We changed those policies on the quality of life crimes, but the marijuana piece was too damn big.
It was.
You know, and that was last. Y'all heard everybody talking about it. It's like, yeah. I mean, come on, man. We talking about what? We can't even sell alcohol on Sundays till just last year.
I gotta ask you this. Like like this bill, it was voted 15-0, correct?
Unanimous.
Now, when you first brought this to the forefront, how did your constituents feel about that? Was everybody on board at first, or was that something that they just kind of gradually?
People had a lot of questions. One, because they were like, you know, you trying to say that we're not going to have jaywalking crimes. You know, all those other codes, it was like 118 of them. Wow. So they just saw everything. And sometimes you just try to push it all down people's throat. Right. They're going to say, hell no. And that's what happened. So we got pushback. So we separated out about 40 of them that we could pass, and we brought marijuana over by itself. Okay. And then, so we passed those 40, but still marijuana was not getting the support. The mayor told me he felt it was a gateway drug at the time. The legal department said it's not legal. Some of my colleagues on the council said, no, this is going to cause unintended consequences. We don't want blood on our hands, and I just don't believe in this. It's too much of this out in the community, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's kind of strange because we almost in a bubble in this city. Right. You know, the rest of the world is moving way ahead of us, and we're innovative in everything else. We're innovative in technology. We got the busiest airport in the world. We got the biggest film industry. We got the music industry. But we have no clue, and we're behind in a place that's criminalizing African Americans more than anybody else. 92% of the people in our jail, you know, who were arrested for weed,
92%
are black. You know, for less than an ounce.
I was in the barber shop today, right? So my barber, he had a big problem with the criminalization of the marijuana. He wasn't for it. And I was like, why are you not for it? Because he's like, now it's going to give an excuse to the youngins to go out and wild and do what they want to do. I was like, I think it's a better way for the blacks, like you said, because we're being targeted.
That's right.
If it's 4 black dudes in one car right down the street, there's 4 white dudes right on one street, 95%. Right. The black cars get pulled over.
We doing more than smoking weed.
And both cars are
always
drugs in both cars.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I get it. I'm
That's
riding with you, Kwanza.
So no, I appreciate it, man. And you know, I think also we want to say that we all grew up. I mean, when you started drinking?
Shit, 8th grade.
Right. Okay. Right. So, but it's legal.
When you started smoking,
that's my point.
Kwanza.
I mean, my point is, so it started so much earlier. People making it seem like kids not gonna do what they want to do.
That's right.
I mean, you're gonna do what you want to do, and the more they say you can't do it, the more likely you're gonna do it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, like, I always felt like that was something that they knew we're gonna do, and that's a way to lock us up. Yeah. And that's why there is 92%. That's something, like you said, the rest of the world is so far ahead when it comes to that. We're so far ahead in other areas. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking like, okay, if I live right here, I can go to jail for this. But it's a person who lives in America.
Right. You're supposed to be.
They can have the same thing I have and not go to jail.
And they can work and everything.
Atlanta is a black city.
Right. Right.
Triple black. What's happening?
So there you go.
Yeah.
Go what?
I mean, there you go. What? That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's always an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Even if even if it ain't unfolded, you know, they had a war on drugs. They just say no. But we bringing in all the drugs. So you know what I mean? It's always some reason for it.
Can you clear this up for our Smokin and Jokin fans? Because we got a lot of questions today. They want to know the jurisdiction of
the
right.
Okay. All right. Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
Everybody
want to know.
Well,
people in Stone Mountain think they
no.
No.
Everybody need to slow down now. Slow your roll now. Slow your roll. Everybody slow up. Hey, we
Clayco.
You
said it. Y'all don't start.
No, what? Gwinnett Carr don't even think about it. I mean, we just getting started. This is the beginning, y'all. This is.
Don't even think about it.
I mean, I'm for real. Am I lying?
That's why all the weed. That's
I
why all the weed
heard
out
was
for me.
waiting on Jackson Parkway last night. Last night.
People want to hear this. We need
Yeah, man. Let them know the truth.
Look. So the main point is, first of all, let's look at the law so everybody understand the facts, because I don't want no misunderstandings.
Big old facts.
Now,
y'all
I
say
say it this way, and some people get mad about me saying decriminalize, because it's technically not decriminalizing, but we understand the idea is we're being treated like criminals when other people are not.
Right.
That's our problem, okay? But the technical term for what we just did, in a state where marijuana is still illegal to possess, we just reclassified the type of charge that you would get. So it used to be that it would be a jailable offense. You go to jail if you have any weed on you, and you could get up to $1,000 fine, and you could be in jail for up to a year, I think. Right. Yeah. Now it is only a ticket, assuming that is the only charge that you get for possession.
We ain't talking about them pistols too.
If you got other stuff, you got other things going on, you will have an issue.
Right.
If you resist arrest or you have an altercation with the police, you could get 2 more charges. So if it's just possession, you would get a ticket. Right. So you still don't want to get stopped for possession of marijuana. I'm just going to say that. You still want to be at home or doing whatever. I'm not trying to condone it, but it's not technically legal.
So it's strictly for the city of
and
Atlanta?
listen.
And it's only Atlanta, the city, not Atlanta Metro. It's only 500,000 people.
Hold on.
Not Fulton County, South Fulton.
What is the radius?
Hey, look.
What is it there?
Let's talk about neighborhoods. Let's talk about neighborhoods.
Understand your laws.
Don't be
Understand your laws.
If you down in Camp Creek, you might be on the line.
That's what Atlanta made up of all the
I don't
counties.
know a red line.
Shout out to all my College Park
Button the
folks.
road,
It
it
ain't
might
for us.
jump. Don't College Park. It's not College Park. It is gonna be Adamsville. Areas that we know to be traditional Atlanta. Collier Heights.
Right.
Oakland City.
Them all your zones, though, big
Pittsburgh,
dog.
Mechanicsville.
Them your spot.
Over by Washington High School. The old Atlanta neighborhoods. Not
Not the new ones.
Not on the other side of Jackson Parkway.
Okay.
Going to Cobb.
So it's only gonna be decriminalized in the hood.
Hey,
Don't turn
It's only gonna be decriminalized in the hood.
boys from Decatur who were just crunk, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't
Know your laws.
Yes,
Hey,
know the law.
because you're going to go to jail. Talk about, hey, man, I know my rights. No, you don't. You don't know them.
So all the
understand what the man is
Mechanicville,
saying.
No, he's just saying the city of
Boring
Atlanta,
homes,
period. No,
all the old projects.
Old
basically.
neighborhoods. Yeah,
Okay.
Jonesboro Road, not Jonesboro.
Right.
Not Clayco. So
Right,
if
y'all
you live
right.
in any one of them other counties than Fulton County and just a little bit of Atlanta that's in DeKalb, that's Kirkwood, Edgewood, and Eastlake, you really, and
City
East
of
Atlanta
Atlanta,
Village,
period.
you really need to just be even more careful because you could get a real serious charge.
Yeah, they probably gonna go hard on.
Yeah.
They gonna go even hard on us.
Right, and so don't
Man,
even, don't
man,
get
we
caught
ain't
up in
won.
that.
What we celebrating?
I'm gonna tell you the
But we did
Sound like a
win.
small
So, hold on,
victory.
you got to start with. Yeah,
I'm saying though, it's
we
all
won
that
the
small.
battle. We won the battle, but we
Okay.
got a war.
Hey,
so
yeah.
the war. So the next thing we got to do is we got to educate everybody like y'all doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly. We got to tell everybody, look, don't do nothing stupid.
Spread the word.
The next thing we're gonna work with the police department so they also are in agreement so that because they can still give you a charge
Right.
on the state charge if they want to, if they feel like you out of order. So we don't want somebody going to Rice Street
Right.
Right.
for a joint. That's even worse than going to the city jail. So we got to kind of do some education and everybody be on the same page, and we got to get the other jurisdictions. So if the state patrol arrests you, right now they can give you the highest charge. And you don't want to get caught with weed by the state patrol or now Georgia
You,
State.
you definitely don't want to get stopped by the state patrol.
So once again, for everybody that's out there, anybody that's watching Smoking and Joking, all our youth, this is not a pass to just ride with marijuana in your car. This is not a pass to see the officer and blow smoke at his face.
Please don't.
It's still not legal.
Right.
It just changed. They just reclassified it. You still get fined, and you don't want to get fined over and over and over.
In certain areas too.
And if you
You
can't
better remember that.
if you can't pronounce the word, you don't need to.
You better be in that area too.
I want to say this, like you said, this was just the first battle won.
Yes.
For me, the major battle concerning marijuana is the fact that they're not letting us in the industry.
Oh yeah. Now
How
you're
do you
talking
feel
something
about
else.
that?
Well, I mean, so I think this sets us up in Atlanta because anything we get into in Atlanta, we end up figuring out how to do real well in it. We breaking into the film industry.
Anything.
We know we're on our way.
So, hold on, say that again.
It's a lot of
Anything in Atlanta.
Anything
We got the ball.
do
Can you
well
say
in
that
it.
for-
When we get the ball. Once
We
I
ain't giving
learned
the ball
what
back.
the ball do,
Right.
we ain't giving it back.
We ain't
We ain't giving it back.
Right. So the film industry, we trying to creep up in there. We
Right.
know it's
We
an
creeping.
$8 billion spend a year.
Right.
$8 billion being spent in Georgia.
You know what,
Understand me?
future mayor?
Yes, sir.
When you become the mayor of Atlanta, how are you going to continue?
Hold on. Don't
keep
hold
all
on.
the-
So I don't want to cut you off. This is very important to me, C-Bone.
Go ahead.
Because, like, I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
I
So
know
I'm
how to
come back
grow
to the agriculture.
peppers.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
know
sir.
how to grow fruit, everything, and I want in. I ain't never had a
Yeah.
felony.
So now let's go and get into the industry.
talking about
Now,
cultivation?
let
we
me
getting
go there.
into
Okay.
all that, right?
Let's talk about
they,
the
they
industry.
keeping us out the industry.
So
with this.
just like with any other group that wants to get into business, they do their homework.
Right.
So we got to start studying and understand. I think a lot of people have been searching on the internet.
I have.
Everybody talking about
Right.
the industry. What about the dispensary? What about this? So I hear that.
People buying land.
But I think the state, the good old boys at the state, are doing a little bit of that play because Georgia is 50% agriculture.
Right.
That's our industry here.
Right.
So
Definitely.
this is great for growing
That's what I'm
a lot
saying.
of things in. So I think what we have to do is start figuring out how other states have changed it
Right.
on the agriculture side, and people, black farmers, urban farmers, start preparing to be in that lane.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then looking at, can you do the products?
So,
All the aspects of the business sector.
Yeah,
And that
'cause-
it's every lane.
So what was you
every
talking about
lane.
illegal growing fruit? I'm
No.
confused.
I'm saying, like, I'm a farmer. I
Right.
know how to
So
grow
what you were saying,
everything.
what's
Like,
illegal
you can
about doing
throw
that?
me out.
Is-
No,
that's illegal?
what I'm saying is, when this industry comes to Atlanta, I want in.
Right,
What's
that's
happening
what
in
he's saying.
Colorado, California, Michigan,
You talking about the
DC,
cultivation
all the
laws.
other
Right.
26 states, they're not letting us in. They're making it too pricey for us to get in. And it's a lot of, you search on the internet, you try to do research unless you know somebody.
But I
who
was just,
really
I was
knows
just finna
somebody
say,
who really
if you know somebody,
you're
you-
left
it's-
out.
Yeah, that's the only way you, cause I actually know somebody, and just the fact that he was talking about that agriculture, like who actually, that's what they do. Man, they give out a lot of money for study too. When you realize just dealing with agriculture, that fall under, you know what I'm saying, the category of agriculture. People getting out $22 million for people to put goats on parks and monitor their fertilization to see what it do in certain situations. And they give, so it's money out
It's a
there
tax-
for it.
right,
But
yeah.
a lot of people, like you said, don't know who to go to. You know what I'm saying? to
And
make
that's
it
why I'm
shake.
asking
Yeah.
him, like, how do you?
So we have a State Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
And what people should do is start going down to the state capitol and paying attention or researching on the internet any pieces of legislation or conversations or working groups and work sessions around these conversations. So there's one around growers. There's another one around medical and medicinal products and dispensaries. So it's about 3 or 4 different work sessions and work groups, and they have meetings and they packed over at the state capitol. Right now.
Did y'all hear Mr. Hall? He said, get off your sorry ass and go do your own work. Hey, you got to go to these meetings. You got to go to these town halls to know what you're doing. Don't just sit back and think, oh, yeah, I'm be the next grow house in the A. Cut it out.
Yeah, dude.
I know.
Listen. I want to say this. Like I said, like this whole cannabis movement and what you did for Atlanta, like, we are very proud of you. You helped make history here. But with that being said, it's so much more to Kwanza Hall than just marijuana. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to dive into a lot of things. 'Cause like I said, it's so much more to this, brother, than just marijuana. We just kicked it off because this is Smokin and Jokin. Today, we voted Jokin!
I love to smoke a lot, never seen me.
Welcome back, Jack. Listen, man, we still voting. We got the future mayor of Atlanta. That's right, I said, because you got to put it out there in the universe. We have the future mayor of Atlanta, Mr. Kwanza Hall, in the building. And Kwanza, I got to ask you this.
Yes, sir.
And these are questions that I'm asking because the people have reached out. They found out you was coming on Smokin and Jokin. They want to know. And so I want to start with this. There is a rainbow flag in 10th Street.
Paint it
on
on
the middle
10th
of 10th Street.
That's right.
This is something that you supported. So this is kind of a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Number one, I want to know, did you feel pressure to support this? And number two, I want to know, how did your constituents feel about you supporting this?
Good question. Good question. I represent the heart of the city: downtown, midtown, Old Fourth Ward, Emmett Park, Ponce Highlands, had Atlantic Station, Castleberry Hill. My district's always been diverse.
Right.
That's really been the gay capital intersection, as long as we know.
Yeah.
Really, if y'all think
Bulldog.
about it, since we've been growing up.
Right.
I mean, there's always been the capital.
Don't get
of the
caught
gay
at
community
Bulldog.
of the city.
Right.
So,
Mace.
you know, when the idea of people painting crosswalks in other cities sprung up, and some cities been doing it for a long time. You see it around UGA and colleges, campuses, and Georgia Tech did one, and Georgia State did one. The gay community said, hey, we want one.
Right.
And there was someone who raised the money and just went and started kind of painting it. And we were like, you can't just paint the streets. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to kind of come within the rules of the law. And they got a little mad about it, but it was last year. And they did it temporarily as a part of the Gay Pride Parade. And we said, okay, cool. Next year, we came up with the funds to figure out how to make it a permanent installation. But the same thing I would say if we wanted to put a red, black, and green flag at the intersection of Peoples and RDA, which we always have known that's been a black liberation community for years since we was growing up too. So if we want to honor some traditional legacies that exist in our city, that's a way that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Because our city is a city that is known for including everybody.
Absolutely.
And we have had people to give their lives, like Dr. Martin Luther King and so many others, my father included, Hosea Williams, to make this a world where everybody can coexist and live their lives and live their dreams.
Right.
I want to ask you this, like, and then you still got to answer the second part of the question. We don't let people off the hook here, Smokin.
Oh, no, what's the make sure I got it.
But before I go to the second part of the question, I want to say this. Like, number one, I live in a diverse city. Love is love. You love who you want to love. It don't affect my bottom line at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but I do want to say this. Sometimes I feel like, you know, the gay community, they fight so hard to be considered equal. But if you are equal, then there are no special privileges for you. And that's the only thing sometimes that I have to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why you gotta have a special flag? If you're equal and you're just a human being, there is no special flag to go right here. But now I spoke with a person in the gay community about this, and they gave me what you just said.
Yeah.
If the Panthers want to go paint something, but I don't know if the city of Atlanta, will let the Panthers.
I've been waiting on somebody because when I'm mayor, I can think of a lot of different legacies that we could honor in all parts of the city. I don't know if I would be really doing a Stars and Bars Confederate flag. Right. That might not be the one because that was done from, you know, but that wouldn't be the one. But I think honoring any group that feels a part of our city, and we know them to be a part of our city.
Right.
Our city's always had a gay community.
Absolutely.
Our city's had a strong African-American liberation community. And some would argue, well, why do y'all need a different flag?
Right.
But we know that flag stands for, that red, black, and green stands for blood, the wealth that was lost, and our black skin and our land. So it's like those conversations really are conversations that have been going on for a long time, and I think anybody who's been marginalized, any group that feels pushed out of society, outcast,
they want to represent.
End up having some way, needing a way to represent.
With a K.
You know what I'm saying? As we all grew up feeling outcast, even though we was in Southwest Atlanta, we felt like we was outside of that mainstream of the black bougie crowd. Right. So we had to figure out our own way.
Other NK.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm with you. Yeah. Like I said, I just always felt like, okay, if everybody's equal, then you don't need no separate. You don't need a special bathroom. You don't need special sound. Yeah. But like I said, this is Atlanta. This is the diverse.
But let me add one more thing. Okay. Anywhere in the world, y'all, you got to really understand this. Okay. People have power because they participate. Absolutely. People have a voice because they participate, they support elected officials, they make contributions, they have a lobby, they have influence. Right. Absolutely. Okay. If you don't participate, you don't have a voice.
You can talk all day at home.
If you don't know how to lobby for things, look here, man. I grew up on Campbellton Road.
Say it again.
When I was growing up, we had some at least we had basic restaurants like Red Lobster.
Right.
S&S, we had a lot of stuff.
Oh, you from Decatur.
You ride down Campbellton Road, Now, you ride down Martin Luther King.
S&S still there.
You ride down Boone. You ride down Lowry, Old Simpson. Those used to be pride and joy streets. Right? We still have the same leaders who live there. We have people who control everything, the big companies. They get money at the airport, billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. We got all the mayors live there. But what restaurants we got at Cascade and 285? Right. So, you know, I've learned representing people over here. My district's only 17% black.
Right.
Okay. Now, if I wasn't doing a good job, they would have kicked me out. They would have fired me.
You already know. They waiting on you to not do a good job.
You know, when you go to a black restaurant, they might not serve you as fast.
Right.
But you go to a white restaurant, you better be on it, right?
Right.
So that's the same. I have to be that way because it's true.
Fast.
But the same way in terms of their expectation for service, we don't understand how to expect the same thing in our community.
And you know what?
And that's what I want to bring as mayor. I want us to understand we deserve to have the same goodness on our side of town for whatever we want.
And you know what?
As long as it don't impede upon anybody else's freedom.
It's funny you say that because I was just having a conversation with my son on Sunday, you know, and I was telling him exactly what you talked about. Like, my daughter goes to North Springs, and they already finna build some new shit already for them. And they school already look like the goddamn, I'm looking at their stadium, and she's like, well, the parents ain't with how the school look right now, and they finna have to rebuild. And I'm like, and I'm telling my son, it's because the people in that community, the minute
show
it's
up.
a pothole,
They show
the minute
up.
it's they rally, and you gonna make it right.
They gonna call till they get it right.
And to hear you say that, it just
So we got to set our expectations higher.
Absolutely.
And the dreams that we really have for our community, we need to look at other communities. Have anybody been to Ponce City Market? Broad Street Market.
Did a great
we
job.
got more. That's my area.
Did a great job.
We got more restaurants between them two places than the whole Southwest Atlanta.
Great job.
I would like to say how you
neighborhood.
tried to bring all African Americans in on that venture.
I did.
But people was like, no. And now
Is
look
that really
where
gonna
you-
happen on Boulevard?
And now
I
look
mean,
where you
you know
at.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Real,
Because
for
I
real.
had some homeboys like, nah, man, I don't think I. But look what you missed out on.
Yeah.
Look at your opportunities. This is a call to action, people. Get off your ass.
Say later.
And do
Hey,
something.
so you may want to be.
Well, look, Kwanza.
Yeah, go ahead. He's still on the last question. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just got two questions. I just wanted to ask. Going back to what y'all was talking about earlier, what Tat was talking about as far as with the gay stuff, this and that, and everybody. No, I mean,
Now, hold on, let me say one more
thing.
thing, though. Do y'all know that in the voting population that in my district alone, it's probably 30 to 40% gay?
I figured that.
Do you? So if any group who got something to say, they gonna speak up. Now it's nothing wrong with.
But what I'm saying,
people choosing
what I'm
whatever
going back.
lifestyle they would choose.
Right,
And actually,
exactly.
some of my biggest supporters,
everybody got the right to
contributors,
live
they
how-
more than my partners from the neighborhood that we grew up with.
Right.
Kwanza, how much you need?
But
Partners
I'm
I grew
going.
up
I'm-
with who be buying a lot of cars.
Okay.
They don't even call me
Listen,
back.
I'm
like,
going back.
Am I lying? I mean, I be like,
I'm going back.
Who
I'm going-
helping you?
I'm going still back to what Tatu was saying. I get all that. But I ain't talking about that part of it right now. I'm going back to something specific that Tatu was asking.
Yeah. Go
When he was asking
specific.
about the pressure
good question, good
supporting
question. Right, the pressure.
certain things.
No,
because
good question,
at what
great question.
point does it go from being equal and being equal to being bullies? You see what I'm saying? Because every time somebody don't
Great
agree
question.
with your stance, you bully. And now here y'all come with the whole LGBT community, and y'all want to pull money just because people may not agree with what your take is. That's you know what I'm saying. That's
right.
No, that's a fair question. No,
That's
you're
right.
right. And he did ask that.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody can be a bully in any community.
Yep, absolutely.
It's bullies everywhere.
Yeah.
Every shape, form, fashion.
I'm not bullying.
But I'm just saying,
It's
like, to me,
bullies
that
in the
seems like a
politics
form.
and
That seems like a form of
No,
it.
but nobody bullied me. What I'm telling you is that was actually an easy one.
Right.
That was like, oh man, come on.
Because it's a part of the culture.
It's
here.
all right. I mean, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what
What you want? I mean, that's all it takes to get
Fit
everybody
you in.
supporting me. Great.
How did Jokin-
I mean,
how
I
did
don't have
Jokin-
to go like solve everybody's problems like they got potholes because that's harder to fix.
Listen.
Than to paint some streets. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
The second part of my question was, though, how did your constituents feel?
Oh, my constituents who vote for me were overwhelmingly supportive
Where's
of
No, hold on. It was some people in that community that wasn't happy
They were
about
on
that.
social media.
Yeah,
There were some people saying, well, y'all doing that, y'all could just spend the money on fixing potholes.
I was one. I was like, what the fuck
but you
is
know
going
what?
on
Listen,
downtown?
I mean, hold on now.
I'm
Now
being real with you.
let's think about this. It's some people mad as hell about us giving $200 million to the stadium.
Absolutely.
So, but that stadium looked good as hell on the inside.
But hold on,
I
hold
voted
on,
against
hold
it.
on,
That's my choice of
looked
opinion.
good.
Hold on, Kwanza.
I voted against that shit because I thought it was too much damn money. I mean,
You voted against it?
hell yeah, I voted against it.
He voted against it.
That shit. I mean, I'm just saying.
But the
So I
stadium-
mean,
Hold on.
you know,
Kwanza.
there's always like
Kwanza,
you take your personal position. I felt like they have a lot of money, and we should own it. I just felt like it was like buying a house.
We should own it.
I'm giving him the money and my credit, but I don't get to own none of it.
I agree.
Because it's on state property. Now, there was a bigger deal behind the scenes, and it's going to help the city, but that was just one philosophically I ain't agree with.
Okay.
So, but it's there. And I went in it for the first time. I was
It's
like,
nice.
Shit nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
We seen each
I'm
other.
impressed.
I saw you down there. I saw you don't feel love with me there.
Hey, listen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Lord.
Don't want to be it, but
We ain't
it's
on
needed.
time,
So
come
what
on.
have you?
You don't watch NFL.
No, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, that whole NFL thing, that's a whole nother conversation,
Because somebody asked me yesterday.
He got a lot of, man, what you
Hold
got,
on,
the
listen.
internet over here?
Hold on, listen. No. I'm the internet.
They won't let me ask my question.
I'm the internet. I am the internet.
They won't let me ask my question. I got a good one.
Go ahead.
Boom. I'm going to let you go then.
I still no, you go because I still got a part two too. I ain't get to the
Go ahead,
episode.
bro.
Y'all both.
We ain't doing no more gay talk.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Ain't
I
nobody
got a
talking
question.
about gay, nigga.
I got
Kwanza, brother,
Yeah.
I apologize to you
What happened?
because Smokin, Jokin, we should have been rocking with you.
Man, but I've been knowing. Come on, man.
That's vice versa.
Hold on.
Yeah, we have.
Hold on.
Hold on. Go back though, man. Come on.
Hold on. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay,
That's not what I'm talking about.
But y'all ain't had no
We've been rocking with you. But brother, I came and made phone calls. I came to the rally. Like, we should have been going live everywhere. Like, Smokin' Jokin got a following that community that you
I
reaching.
felt it.
We should have been rocking with you, and I'm here to tell you that from the day we met the other day.
That's the shit I want to know.
Whatever you need, like, we rocking with
let me
you.
give
Like,
y'all my
our
list.
platform is your
Everybody got that
platform.
list. Write that list down. Really.
It's your platform.
Write the list down.
That
Make
leads
it
to
long.
my
Hey,
question.
listen, and back to the regular schedule program. Bone has a question.
Now that
Oh,
leads to
yeah,
my
Mo.
question. It's 7 candidates, right?
Yeah. No more than that. About 13.
13.
But it's
How many is 4? How many African Americans? Let me get my question right.
about 5 or 6.
5
6,
African Americans. 3 African Americans are from the SWATs.
That's right.
So
Born and raised,
it's
yeah.
a lot of people calling me asking, are y'all battling each other? Are y'all on the same
Battling.
page? Are y'all communicating? Is who I got the biggest votes? I'm gonna go ride with you if I ain't winning. Like, I mean, what's gonna happen when it get down to crunch time?
Man,
I think a lot of people. Hey, Kwanza, I think a lot of people think that because it's 3 African Americans that the vote is gonna be divided. So therefore, somebody else gonna win.
Yeah,
Tell them how that works.
Okay, first of all, let's don't be side chair, political analysts. After we all spent 1 year watching the election, now everybody know how to call politics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people haven't been really in the mix.
Right.
Okay.
Damn,
I've
they
said
carried
this
it
to
right
everybody.
tonight.
Atlanta doesn't need a white mayor, black mayor, gay mayor, or straight mayor. Atlanta needs a great mayor.
Right.
All right?
Talk-
So
preach.
when you start thinking about how the candidates represent, there are some people, and I'm just going to call it like it is, who are running against the current mayor. They're not necessarily running for Atlanta. They're running against who is the mayor.
Wow.
That's a different
It's
position.
a whole different position.
Because if he wasn't there, then what would you be doing?
Wouldn't be running.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Or is it other people who put, how somebody say, baddest man hit my hand?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We instigate, so there's people who instigating others. People are easily manipulated.
So are you saying
That I'm just putting that out there. Let me say one more piece on that. Let me give y'all the whole equation.
Okay.
Then y'all can break it, because this is like a big old problem. And that's why people can't solve it. Because like, well, what about that one? He should be because he was there, and then, he was there, but, so it's hard to analyze. Then after about 3 of them, you're like, man, let me have a drink.
Yeah, 'cause
Man, I ain't got time for this shit. They just going to split the vote.
Yeah, because it sound like
That's what everybody say. They gonna
go
split the vote.
run just so you can fuck
Right.
You
Fuck the
run,
shit up.
and you go run run. So now
it's people who good at like instigating people.
Now I heard a lot of inside rumors.
Good at doing it.
It's a lot of inside details.
And there's a lot of details. There's some tension and some beefs that go back. There's obviously it's always interest involved. We talked about interest lobby for what they want.
Absolutely.
This right here, you talking about this marijuana weed.
Right.
It's a lobby.
Absolutely.
Who's interested in seeing the law change, and there's another group that's interested in seeing it stay the same.
Change.
There's also people.
I got pack for the marijuana if you want that. I got money for you if you don't want
that's
it.
Right.
I got money either way.
And then there's people who are interested in the business at the city.
Yeah.
There's other people interested in ideology at the city. There's other people interested in just having power and control.
So let me ask you this.
So those people also have their hands in these movements too. Okay. Now, there's also a long-standing 40-year battle over if it's going to be a black and white mayor.
Right.
So there's a Buckhead candidate who represents the Buckhead establishment that goes back to the fight with Maynard Jackson when he won. Then there is a Buckhead business candidate, not the establishment, it's business.
Business.
Okay. They new money guys, new to town, but they want to get that bread because it's a lot of big bread. A lot of things coming.
Bread.
You know, $14 billion in transportation spend will be under the next mayor.
And you big on that public transportation.
$8 to $10 billion in film and the music industry and the tech industry, and 85% of all financial processing, all credit card transactions. I don't know, that might be why we got so much of that paper game going on here, goes through Atlanta.
Kwanza, hold on.
It's a lot at stake.
With all that being said, I want to ask you, because at the end of the day, I always felt like it's about what's best for Atlanta.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, if you see that it's a possibility that you might not win, is there another candidate that you could possibly co-sign or sign on or rock with?
That's what I just asked.
Okay, I played Little League football at Allen Park.
Okay.
We ain't never lose.
Gotta have no fence.
I don't understand how you get.
I ain't never got it.
Exactly. Clearly, he didn't play with not one.
I'm just checking on that.
Okay.
I'm just checking on that.
Because I started. Because I actually started at Adams Park.
We didn't lose, Kwanza.
I actually started at Adams Park myself.
Oh, you started
playing myself.
That was Wellman on the 8 and under team. I mean, he always had a uniform. I mean, I know that you see. Y'all know y'all did.
They can't make weight.
But they never make weight. They gonna be one.
I played that midway too. I played that midway too.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Let me come back to this.
Let's read. Let's get that different.
I grew up never understanding the idea of going into a battle to lose.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't, people like, man, would you?
Right.
I don't understand that shit.
Right,
Man, what y'all talking about? I'm in this to win.
Right.
Okay.
Fuck you
And
talking
you
about.
got winning.
You might as well just say that,
do what it takes to win. No, I don't take offense. I'm just saying I don't understand.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is like
it's a certain thing as numbers.
So let's run the numbers. I'm gonna give y'all the numbers so everybody
Break the numbers down.
I want y'all to know, because y'all my family. Y'all need to know. So fans, y'all need to understand this. This is so critical. So we talked about these different groups that are representing interests. Then we also have an anti-establishment candidate.
Yeah.
Okay, who gets, kind of got some big endorsements.
Fuck him.
You got keep it with the home team who winning already candidate.
Yeah.
No. Hold on, not my bad.
Okay.
Keep it with the current mayor team.
Okay.
You got to keep it with the home team. That's me.
Yeah.
There you go. And then you got 20% undecided.
Fuck him. Fuck them.
Right? So all these different people are divided. I represent a district that's 17% black. Mary Norwood is polling at 15% in the black community.
So that's the question.
So
I was
you got
asking,
5 black people. I'm going to it.
Right. Okay,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
The only candidate who's black that can win is a black candidate who also can get white vote.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's no way that you can win just with Southwest Atlanta, because we already saw that Kasim almost lost by 714 votes.
Absolutely.
So, and the city is not more black, is it? The city is more white. Thankfully, you have a candidate in this race who's from the Swats, but also represents the whole new energy of Atlanta.
And
Ain't that what we want in Atlanta?
And you said your territory is only 17% black, right?
And I've been elected there for 15 years. If I was not
That's
the
boss.
candidate, they would have fired me a long time ago.
Well, if they didn't rock
get him the hell out of here, right?
looking for a reason.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And they still was.
Right, absolutely.
But we delivered. You know what I'm saying? So
the Atlanta school board.
there's school board and then all these other positions. So it's really it's obvious to me that our only winning strategy is if winning is about somebody who can bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Because there is a gay candidate.
There's a
And
gay.
I'm not
Which
saying
one
she's
is that?
only representing gay interests.
Oh, female gay.
But no, but what I'm describing is
We
you've
accept
got all
that
these
in Atlanta.
factions, right? And the factions are just as divided. And if you want to make it even further, we have several African-American mayors, right? They're supporting different candidates. And that's never been the case in this city. But what it says to me is this is like, out the Bible. This is one of the times when we need brand new leadership. Leadership that can see things very different.
A breath of fresh air.
That's right. That's willing to put people first.
We need to pull up
and
on
not
somebody.
be focused on all those interests. Because the real interest is the people.
Right.
Right. And then some people even said, well, it's their turn. It was this person's
Who
turn
turn?
because
Who was they?
they was like in line, or then the business people said, well, wait a minute, it's our girl turn because she almost lost.
Right.
I'm like, it's the people turn. And who giving times out anyway? Y'all can just pick who turned it. Why we even having an election then?
Right.
Can't nobody, the people vote, man. And the people need to vote, and that's what I'm saying. We need to participate. We need to be in this equation because it's our future that's more at stake than anybody else. The people who come from Atlanta, who live in the margins, people who love that dream of what Atlanta used to be in some ways. Them spring days, the fall days, like the day when it feels good.
Oh,
you
man.
riding over
Oh,
the Piedmont Park or the Grant Park, and it's just Mosley Park.
And you listening to Get On My Level by Stokely. Carry on.
I appreciate
Baby, we was listening to that on the way down here, baby.
We still own our house in Dixie.
Get on my level.
We got
we
our house
gonna
in Dixie.
revitalize the whole
Listen
Dixie
to
Hill.
that.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, this is important. I want to hear
It's
this.
embarrassing.
We still got our house
that
on,
we
on
have-
Tiger Flower and Carver Circle.
Man, listen here. Those were our pride. We have pride and joy legacy neighborhoods that have fallen into disrepair. I'm talking about
Can you say
some
that
of them.
neighborhood again?
Dixie Hill.
Hill, okay.
Dixie Hills. I mean, all these neighborhoods were named for some outstanding African American leaders, or athletes, or philanthropists, home builders. The first home builder. All Collier Heights, the home where Mr. Herman Russell used to live. All these homes need to be restored.
Right,
And people need to come back to these neighborhoods. We need to regenerate them and make them something we can be proud of again.
Man.
These are neighborhoods around Doug High School. Doug High School barely have a school. And that used to be the number one school.
Right.
Well, not really. I went to Mays. It was,
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But you know what I'm saying?
But you right though, Doug. But you right though, Doug was one of them schools for a long time.
Listen though, I want to piggyback off of that real fast because
I'm just saying there's opportunity for us to look at the former 11 Housing Authority properties, Bourne Homes, Bankhead, Jonesboro North and South, Carver Homes, Herndon Homes,
Perry Home, Herndon
all of them
Home, all
haven't
the
been
homes.
done. It's 400 acres of land that we could regenerate and revitalize.
What
and
are y'all
put
gonna do
people
with
in
Bourne
affordable housing?
Bankhead,
30,000 new units is what we need of $500, $700, $900, $1,100 a month that people can afford. So people can live in this
I was just
city.
going to say, because a lot of them,
And
they
it's
do it like
empty
that. People
houses.
can't afford to stay in them when they redo it.
It's empty houses. How many empty
You know
houses
what I'm
over there
saying?
by Dixie Hill?
A lot.
All them apartments
Abandoned.
Kwanzaa,
abandoned.
I want to ask you
For
this,
years.
man. I want to ask you this real
Yeah.
quick because I know you got, you know what I mean. I know it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, like, for those people
The
that's
motorcade,
watching
right?
right now, for those people that's on the fence, they lean and they don't know. They might go Norwood, they might go Caesar. They
What?
don't know which way they going. Can you
Tell
give
our-
them a little
yeah, 'cause
something
we riding
to,
with
to,
you.
to get them off the fence? They already know Smokin, Jokin, voting and joking. We only rocking with the Hall.
Yeah. First, we need people registered because a lot of people talk about they voting and they not even registered. They haven't checked that they live outside the city.
Absolutely.
But if you do live in the city, you need to exercise your right to vote. I think we need to do an early vote campaign. Let's go ahead and vote on the 16th.
We rocking with
Because the first day we can vote is
On record,
October
Tat.
16th, not November 7th. We might need to give our friends a little bit more time.
Okay.
And really what I'm standing for, I said, Atlanta's been great at building buildings, but not so good at building and loving its people.
Okay.
And it's not like
Go on
we're
record,
doing
Tat.
things wrong. It's just we're doing wrong by our people. You know what I'm saying? So we're building the stadium, but we haven't really loved the people. So it's going to take new leadership. And that's no knock on anybody.
Right.
It's
Right.
our time to do this now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a time to do certain things. It's our time to do that particular work so that we take care of the families and children who are most in the margins, and we make this a city that people know they loved in. That's all I'm offering.
What can Smokin and Joke, like I said, we riding with you.
Yes,
and we are here. And
Thank
like you saw me come in and start making phone calls. Like,
that's right.
You know
and
what
I
mean?
appreciate it.
And like, what can we do? Because we rocking with you, and we need you, brother.
Well, y'all got to push it, man. Y'all got to. You know how Fox News pushed Donald Trump?
Okay.
I need y'all to push me the same way. Every day, all day, put Kwanza Hall out there. Use all your social media, all your power,
Hey,
all
where
your
your hoodies
friends.
at, man? You brought
Get
some
people
hoodies
to go.
in there.
I got. They
No
bring y'all some.
t-shirts.
Hey, listen though, but
And we need people. We need contributions.
this
too,
is what
'cause
we need.
We need financial support.
This is what
too.
we
That
need,
help.
Kwanzaa.
Okay.
We need like whatever you
We'll do some
doing.
fundraising.
Smokin' Jokin needs some type of media where we can show up. Like we will show up at everything you are
I'ma
doing.
send y'all the
and
whole list.
We will show
Public
up.
calendar, it's on
we
the
ain't
website.
hold on. We ain't missed nothing since last
Y'all
week.
Y'all been there. Y'all been there.
We ain't
I'm
gonna miss
surprised.
somebody is gonna be there. We not gonna, cause we real about this, man. Like
No,
you,
you're right.
you look like me, you
Yeah.
act like me, you talk like me, and to see
You
that
is
and
me.
to see that
Right.
you are me, we need that. Like you said, Atlanta needs change,
That's
and I
right.
want to thank you.
That's it.
The brothers are Smokin' and Jokin.
Man,
Want to
thank y'all,
thank
man.
you. We gonna rock again, and we got a gift for you before we get out of here.
Thank
I
you,
want to bring the lovely Miss Georgia Me up here. She's a spoken word. She's a poet. She's a queen. She got something for Kwanzaa. She wants to just spit for you real fast.
Yeah, well, hey, look, Kwanzaa.
They wrapping me up.
Oh, we are wrapping up. Okay.
He having so much fun. Like he can come back though. You can come back every Tuesday. Miss Georgia, hold on. Miss
I hope y'all
Georgia.
not trying to censor me.
That's what's going on.
Say too much.
Hey, listen. We want to welcome.
There's some real nigga shit.
We want to
going on.
welcome the
They sound
beautiful
too much.
Miss Georgia Me back
Oh,
to
no, they
Smokin'
Beautiful
and
and
Jokin.
talented and educated and
I need some of them.
eloquent
Can you say why and a half before you start?
Wide and high in the building, zone 1, West Side, MLK Simpson Road, Bankhead. We say the old names. I'm blessed and honored. I'm so vote for Kwanza Hall. You know what I'm saying? He got a nigga name. We need that. I'm just saying he's for all people. But I just off gate I was like,
got a
Kwanzaa.
nigga
That's
name.
celebration. That's Christmas. That's gifts.
Kwanzaa Hall,
Okay.
that means
You
the
gotta
first
love our
fruits,
black
right?
people.
The first fruits of
Exactly.
labor. Hey, this is the first fruits of the marijuana labor
Right.
campaign. That's what his name means.
Yeah.
Georgia, you got something for
I'm born and bred in Atlanta. This poem is about Atlanta because born and bred in Atlanta, I knew I could do anything my entire life. I've had a black mayor, a black sheriff, a black police chief. I never thought I had limitations. So this poem is called The Promised Land.
Okay.
If Brooklyn, ain't nobody in here from Brooklyn.
Fuck Brooklyn.
There
I
you
just about
go.
to say you could be on Mars and somebody from Brooklyn. I'm just saying you got
I like
to
Brooklyn.
recognize.
I got some real niggas from Brooklyn.
Fuck Brooklyn.
If Brooklyn
This Brooklyn.
is the heart of America, Atlanta gots to be the soul. Woo! Where you from? Gots to be the South, no doubt. You can tell by the flow of my mouth, my southern twang, distinguished disposition, superior manners, inert intuition, the feeling of home whenever in my presence, for I reek of the essence of Atlanta. My whole life was right off Martin Luther King. My whole life I sang. We shall overcome. I knew I was one of those who would go down fighting, most likely through my writing and speaking, continuously seeking truth, letting my folks beware, but never afraid, cause destiny is laid. Knowing all you can give is showing others how to live. I learned that from King. Such a simple thing, living with no fear. I was fed that right here. How the hell I'm gonna be scared? My grandmother's grandmother was a slave. Rape and reoccurring resignation, no one could save her or stop her from engraving survivor on the road she paved. 4 generations later, I stand unscathed. Call me brave, but it just runs through my veins, the pain and the triumph of Camille Bell. I remember the killings in the ATL. They was blaming this kid named Wayne, but we ATLs give claim to the Klan for most of those slain. Stone Mountain, where the Ku Klux was created, now invaded with affluent Nubians and Mexican natives. While other kids stay jaded, we stayed elated off the excellence of Monica Kaufman on Channel 2. You never know how she gonna have her do. I saw her one year at the Sweet Auburn Festival, you know, the famous avenue where Ebenezer Baptist Church is located. Never been in, real hard to get through. ATL, we love Dr. King. The King family, another issue. And who knew a city that feels like a neighborhood could host the Olympic Games? I'll tell you who Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young, they did the damn thing. See, being from here, I knew I could do whatever I wanted as long as I had a plan. See, being from here, I knew I could do whatever I wanted as long as I know I am. See, being from here, I knew I could do whatever I wanted as long as my mission I understand. I thank God I'm from the promised land. Hey.
Before we get out of here, we're going to do a good drop. I'm Kwanza Hall, drops on the day, and we vote.
Hold on. But before he do that, you got to talk about the volunteering. We got to talk about the
Thank you for that wonderful piece of work there.
That's Miss Georgia Me.
Miss Georgia Me, we're going to have to do something special for you. Maybe come down to City Hall and do one of those one of these days.
I knew you was going to say that. That's why I invited her. I knew you was going to say that.
Do it. Thank you for doing that. So how you can participate. Number one, you can go to the website, www.kwanzahall.com, KWANZAHALL. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, at Kwanza Hall. We need volunteers. We need volunteers to come out. Every day you can come and phone bank with us at 2920 MLK or 444 Highland from 10 to 7, maybe sometimes 8 o'clock at night. And we also need people to come out on Saturdays to be a part of our caravans, our canvas teams. We go out knocking on doors if you like being outside. We also going to be going around to all the clubs, lounges, restaurants, bars, anywhere people who vote go. Y'all can ride with me. We're doing it every night.
Absolutely.
Every night. So we got to turn out all the votes.
Real.
If you know young people,
We're going to Magic first, Kwanzaa.
We already been there. I talked to Magic already. He already
talked to Magic.
He already with us.
You got to walk with him.
But you know, a lot of people don't live in the city.
Right.
So we got to go also to where a lot of people 50-year-old and older are more likely to vote than young people.
Right.
So first and foremost, if you know an older person, talk to them about voting.
And that's
Say,
crazy.
Hey, are you voting in the mayor's race or in the city election? Vote for Kwanza Hall. And then also talk to your friends about voting.
So Kwanza, where do you have
friends might not be as loyal as those who felt the pain of the 60s and the 50s and what it was like back then.
Where do you have to live? What area you have to live in to actually vote for you again?
You have to live inside the city of Atlanta,
right, so that's
not
County?
In the other counties, not in Cobb, not in Clayton, not in Gwinnett, not in Douglas. Only Atlanta in DeKalb.
Okay, well that's all I know.
County, not South Fulton.
So that's all I want to know.
Not South for 285.
I was going to ask you that when I was there making calls. I was going to ask you, like, what's the age range? Because when I was there making calls, I was getting a lot of 50 and older.
Yeah, because they're more likely to vote.
Area.
Yeah.
So we call, in some neighborhoods, that's who the registered voters are.
That's okay.
But we want to call more likely voters. But we also want to talk to people who not likely to vote.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of young people who our age and down, 45 and down, who I'm kind of making myself a little bit younger, but
that's all good. We all do that.
Who voted in 2008 for Obama, but haven't voted since then.
Me, I'm one.
That's
Now,
how
if there's
the
one
president
race that's worth voting in,
That's
it's
how the
this
president
race.
got to know.
It's this
You know
race.
what I'm
First
saying?
vote
So,
ever
hold on,
made,
hold on,
but it's
say that
all whatever.
again. Say that
So
again.
if
Let
it's
them know
one,
why.
I mean, really, we should be voting all the time because
Yep.
it's your power you giving
Yeah.
away and not using. You know, it's like having some money in your pocket and you
Especially for
just
local
burn
stuff.
it, just light it.
Right.
You know, I don't know if y'all like Mayweather, you can do that, but you know.
No,
but
I-
other than that,
I-
you should
you're right.
be using this right. And 2008. So how many years ago was that? That was 9 years.
But you know
So
what?
people haven't really voted at that level
crazy.
since.
And I heard,
2008.
and I heard
this
it
is
really.
Atlanta now.
It count in your areas, man. Like your community, like for local people, like the votes really do count.
It matters.
It really matters.
I mean, this is where
know.
you can decide if you got a park in your neighborhood, if it's clean and safe, if the garbage getting collected, if your pothole is
If the
fixed.
police get convicted for shooting somebody on video.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. If you got new restaurants opening up or closing down, I mean, if you know people want to get business and with other private sector business people, or if you want to do business with the government, this is the way that all politics are local, and we need to understand this more than any other group because everybody else understands how politics works in their favor. Every other community.
Right.
We need to learn it too. I need y'all.
Respect.
We got you. We got you. Kwanzaa.
We want to say this, man.
You the mayor, man. You count yourself here as the mayor, man.
We want to say this, Kwanzaa.
Everybody
we thank
ride
you,
with
brother. Like I said, you look like us, you talk like us, you are us, and you represent us, and you are pushing all cultures forward in Atlanta. No matter what it is, you trying to push it forward. And here at Smokin' Jokin', you have the platform. We rocking with him. Y'all gonna see us everywhere that he is, and that's a promise. You will see the Smokin' Jokin' face, the little green man with the da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I need my shirt though.
Hey, listen, we got you. We got a bag for you in the back.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice.
Can you set that up, boom?
Kwanzaa, big dog, before you go, I need a real ATL drop.
Man, come on.
Come vote for Kwanzaa.
My brother calling me, said I didn't say something wrong.
then-
Shout out to your brother. Shout out to your brother. Kwanza, shut up, man. Shut up, man. He said, shut up, man. You ain't at the skate rink, man. You ain't that.
Get off the internet, bro.
I'm telling you, he done went off on me, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm scared. I don't want to mess up, man.
You ain't gonna say that,
We're
man.
going to lose the election.
We voting.
Look at it. They see what they say.
Man, we got you, man. Whole city behind you there, Kwanza.
They pulling me off. They say they got it.
There was a vote drop, and in it we voting, and we gonna say Jokin. That's all.
Okay. So everybody, this is Kwanza Hall. I'm gonna be everybody's mayor.
Yeah. Right.
We voted.
Hey, Jokin! Yeah.
We like to thank Georgia Me too for coming out.
I love to smoke a lot, never see me now. High up in the sky I go, call up everyone I know, and ask them who got it, let's roll up. 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 I love